So I received an email yesterday from a guy who started his own business. He used to be he was an engineer, and he came up with an idea for a product to improve a product in his industry. And he's been working on it for like a year, and it's going really well. Very cool product, got some distribution on it, so he's pursuing his dream. He wanted to have his own business, now he's doing it. And he asked me a question. He said, I'm thinking about trying to build out my brand, and I understand, like, I'm watching Mad Men, and I think I should have an ad agency, and I don't really know anything about it. I said, all right, well, it just prompted me to introduce this podcast with this in mind. I know a lot of people that are watching this know this already, but there is this link between brands, like a national brand, like a Verizon Wireless or a General Motors or any brand you can think of, and agencies. And the two agencies in particular that brands spend most of their time with would be like an ad agency and a media agency. Ad agency comes up with the creative or the message. The media agency takes their money or their investment and helps them invest it. What should you put it in? Print, digital? Should you put it more on TV? Whatever it is. So they develop the message and they help invest their money. But in particular, as it relates to advertising, probably brands spend most of their time linked to their advertising agency. They are a key partner. They just spend more time with them than anybody else. And when you can get a chance to talk to someone who's been a professional, an agency professional for a long time and has done it at a very high level, you should listen to that person because they got some juice. I had the pleasure to get a chance to meet Eric Hirshberg. Eric is a guy that when you hear about him in the industry, you hear a lot of good things. He is one of the youngest guys ever to receive the Creative Leadership Award a couple times, Advertising Hall of Fame, but all that stuff. But he's worked on big businesses, worked for Deutsch and went out to LA and opened up their office. So it was just a small office when they started. Now it's one of the most sought after offices in the country. So, and he's led that charge. Very smart, very bright guy. And he also got an interesting assignment. He was asked by General Motors to help them as they were going through this phase, they've been going through for the past 12 months or so, this bankruptcy phase. How do you develop creative for that? And oh, by the way, do it without spending a lot of money. And he came up with a really interesting insight, and that insight is authenticity. The insight is believability. And the insight is, these are not his words, these are mine, but brands, as they're talking to consumers, need to start saying more things like thank you, and more things like please, more things like I'm sorry, because that's what we understand, we get that. And the brands that choose to do that in an authentic way will win. So I think you're going to get a lot from this podcast. I hope you enjoy it.